Well, this place is literally crawling with cops. What did you expect? Now that they know he was actually Master Musqua, this must be incredibly embarrassing for them, don't you think? Yeah, I guess they're trying to make up for it by tearing the place apart. Hey, I just noticed. Gumshoe is nowhere to be seen. Well, he is a homicide detective. He's probably working on the murder case. But wasn't he in charge of the Master Musqua investigation all the way up to yesterday? Well, a murder case is a lot more exciting, isn't it? He'd say something like, "There's nothing like a good murder case, pal." Points for the quality of the impression, but I'm not sure Gumshoe has Bloodlust, Maya. Gibt's hier irgendwas Neues? Ich kann nicht mal irgendwas auswählen, oder? Ist alles blau. Na gut. Dann gehe ich mal zum Detention Center. I already told you, it's not me. A sad, pitiful whine that tapers into silence. Sounds like they're interrogating Mr. Delight right now. Man, we don't have enough time as it is. Yeah, well, I guess the police are going crazy just like we are. Yesterday they thought he was just a thief, but now they got a murder case on their hands. I guess you're right. That guard over there looks a bit on edge, too. Come on, we'll just have to come back later. Okay, let's go check out some other place, Nick. Okay. Aber was? Was können wir jetzt machen? Ich kann ja mal... Ich weiß nicht. Vielleicht muss ich doch irgendwie bei Dingsbums weiterkommen, bei... Wie heißt sie jetzt noch? Adrian Andrews, ich vergesse immer ihren Namen. Ich meine, was will er denn, wenn ich ihm jetzt das Magathar mal präsentiere? The night of the crime. On the night of the crime, were you working hard like you were supposed to? Ja, ganz bestimmt. Well, of course I was. Why wouldn't I have been? But didn't you sneak out of work just yesterday to go to see Miss Delight? But that was that. And this is this. Is there any chance that you snuck out of work last night, too? Never. I didn't sneak out. I tell you what, I'll even bet you $1. $1? Wow. Now that's confidence. What's with that drenched in the rain puppy look on your face? Do you have evidence that I left my position, or are you just pulling my chain? The evidence that Larry was not manning his station when the murder happened is... haben wir nicht, oder? Oder, nee, ich wollte gerade sagen, das hier, weil keiner hochgekommen ist, aber also, der wurde ja oft mal gar nicht gedrückt. Also, da würde mir jetzt aber auch nichts einfallen. Aber wo könnte ich denn sonst hin? Ich kann ja nochmal in mein Büro gehen, gucken, ob Maya noch irgendeine Idee hat. Oder wenn jemand im Chat eine Idee hat. Oh. Das war wohl auch schon alles. Hab ich irgendwas verpasst? Was haben wir denn für Sachen? Vielleicht haben wir doch irgendwas, was bei Dings oder Dings weiterhilft. bei Adrian oder Larry. Aber ich kann mir nicht vorstellen, dass das hier irgendwie beweisen würde, dass die Urne echt war. Obwohl da dann später Amy drauf stand. Und das hatte ich erst irgendwie gedacht, weil ja die echte Urne irgendwie Farbkleckse bekommen hat und im Gericht sie dann auch Kleckse hatte, aber das war wohl irgendwie zu sehr um die Ecke gedacht. Move the Night of the Crime hat auch nicht wirklich was damit zu tun. Das ist wegen der Kamera. Das ist das Foto, da wüsste ich jetzt auch nicht, oder? Sieht man da irgendwas? Ne, da sieht man nur die Kiste. Das Schwert. Das war dieser Blackmail-Dingsbums. Found the KB Security Building at around 1 a.m. The Night of the Crime. Hatte Larry die nicht gefunden? Aber wo hat Larry die gefunden? Ich meine, wenn Larry die um 1 Uhr gefunden hat, kann er ja nicht an seinem Platz gewesen sein. Es sei denn, er hat die direkt an seinem Platz gefunden. Das bin ich mir jetzt nicht sicher. Das Gespräch habe ich nicht mehr so genau im Kopf, dass er gesagt hat, wo er das gefunden hat. Das war da drin. Das ist das. Aha. Das bringt mich jetzt auch nicht weiter. Das ist der Knopf. Autopsy Report und... Also das Einzige, was jetzt noch irgendwie entfernt Sinn ergeben würde, wäre, wenn dieses Portemonnaie das ist, was beweist, dass Larry nicht an seinem Platz war. Falls er es halt woanders gefunden hat. Ich weiß gar nicht, was hat er da gesagt, wo er das gefunden hat? Ich bin mir nicht mehr sicher. Probieren wir das mal. Die Musik hat aufgehört. This wallet, you know about this, right? Okay, ich hätte das jetzt... Na gut. I've never seen it before. Liar, you hand-delivered this wallet to Mr. Light just yesterday. Give me a break. You can't expect me to remember every little thing that happens. Well, I do expect you to remember something that happened just yesterday. What time was it when you found this wallet? I guess it was around 1 in the morning on the first floor. Ah, tatsächlich. Gut, wie soll man das denn noch wissen? Muss man ja echt sich hier alles merken. Ich hab's jetzt halt nur benutzt, weil die Möglichkeit ja bestand, dass er das nicht in seinem Office gefunden hat. Und weil es halt irgendwie mit 1 Uhr in Verbindung hing. Und alles, was mit 1 Uhr in Verbindung hängt, wäre ja schon mal ein mögliches Beweisstück, das damit in Verbindung stehen könnte, dass er nicht an seinem Platz war. One o'clock in the morning. That's right. In other words, Larry, at the time of the murder, you were away from the security guard office. Yeah, but there's something you didn't think about. What's that? My shift that day didn't start until 10 p.m. The murderer might have snuck in before then. What do you mean by that? If the murderer had snuck in before 10 p.m., then it wasn't my fault. It was the fault of the guy whose shift was before mine. Or do I have the feeling that he still doesn't get the seriousness of this? Listen up, Larry. We know beyond a shadow of a doubt that the killer snuck into the CEO's office after 10 p.m. during your shift. We do? Wahrscheinlich die Karte. Okay, das geht ja schon mal jetzt doch wieder weiter. Ich hatte schon Schiss, dass wir jetzt festhängen. Larry, when you use this keycard, does it leave a record? Yeah, it does. But I can't show the record to just anyone, you know. That keycard data was already made public in the trial today. What? I didn't know that. Any kind of request for info like that is supposed to go through me. Boy, does that sound a bit arrogant coming from a part-time guard. Anyway, according to the data, the door to the CEO's office was opened with this card. Furthermore, it was most definitely used at 1 a.m., the time of the murder. No way. Yes, someone used this to get into the CEO's office. That happened at 1 a.m. on the night of the crime, right in the middle of your shift. Larry, you can't duck your responsibility this time.
Yeah, no.
Whew, okay. Gut. The night of the crime.
Oh, I knew it. It's all my fault. It's my fault that the boss was killed. My fault.
Larry?
There was nothing I could do. I have important issues to deal with too, man.
What happened that night anyway?
Nah, my Donna happened.
Huh? Your Donna? I got a bad feeling about this.
Yeah, my Donna called and said, I have to talk to you right away. So I went to see her and he was standing right there next to her.
Who was?
Her new boyfriend. It was like some horrible joke. Before I knew what was going on, the guy sucked me right in the kisser. Normally, I'm the one that does the punching, isn't that right, Maya?
Yeah? So is that why you left the security guard office?
Yeah, I'm sorry. It's all my fault. How can I ever make up for it, Nick? What can I do? What?
He's curled up on the floor, crying like a baby. Oh boy.
Nick, is there anything I can do? Anything, just name it. I'll do whatever I have to do to make up for it, I swear I will.
Larry. Hey Nick, as long as he's offering, why don't you show him the evidence we've got? She's right. Maybe we'll get at least one bit of useful information from him. The evidence we've got? Weiß nicht, den Zeitungsartikel? Vielleicht kann er uns ja sagen, wer das ist. Okay, das offenbar nicht. Was denn dann? Das? Auch nicht. Irgendwas mit dem Knopf? Oh, the buzzer in the CEO's office is directly connected to this room, right?
That's right. Just like my heart is connected to yours, Maya. Go ahead, Maya. Press the buzzer in your heart. I promise I'll come running to your rescue like the professional guard I am.
Wow, that was pretty good.
Yeah, thanks. I try.
Do you think you could tell us about the buzzer now? Are you done flirting with Maya?
Yes, please. Please tell us. Okay, I guess so. I'm prepared to be wowed.
Well, okay. Then let's hear it. I accidentally pressed the buzzer earlier.
Yeah, I heard it. So that was you, huh?
You're a security guard, aren't you? Why didn't you come to the CEO's office?
Well, this is the third floor of the basement. The CEO's office is on the first floor. I thought it would be a good idea to adopt a wait-and-see approach. Plus, there's a police detective here, right? I just didn't think it was necessary.
It's as if he's trying to win an award for the laziest person on the planet. Let's get back to talking about the night of the murder, okay? Is it true that the buzzer didn't go off that night? There must be a record, right? You must have had a look at it, right?
Of course I did, and I couldn't possibly have made a mistake either.
Do you think you could take just one more look for me? Pretty please?
Okay. I just can't say no to you, Maya.
What do you think, Nick? He's probably right. I don't think even Larry could make a mistake like that. What is it? What's wrong?
I made
Toll.
I made a mistake.
Huh? But how?
It can't be. It's impossible.
Okay, enough already. What about the records?
That night, it went off just once in the morning at around 1 a.m.
Oh, als du nicht da warst, huh? Hast ja deinen Job echt toll gemacht.
1 a.m.? That's when the murder happened. Really? Are you serious? That's terrible. It can't be.
The buzzer went off once at 1, 2. 2 nach 1 on October 12 in the CEO's office. Haben wir jetzt eine minutengenaue Zeit, was den Tod angeht? Da steht 1 a.m., aber heißt das jetzt wirklich direkt 1 a.m.? Weil dann hätte er ja mal den Buzzer gedrückt, nachdem der Typ tot war. Sonst noch irgendwas, wozu du uns was sagen kannst? Jetzt, wo du schon mit uns redest. Das hatte ich schon, oder? Noch irgendwas hierzu? Was this the card that was used by the culprit that night?
Well, going off the serial number, then yeah. This card was used to open the CEO's office door at 1 in the morning. Your client had this card, right? Then it's a no-brainer. He's the killer man.
Can't be.
That's the wallet I found.
You found it when you snuck out of work to get sucked in the kisser, right?
I didn't sneak out of work to get sucked in the kisser. If only I had been more responsible at work. I might have spotted the murder on the monitor like I was supposed to.
Larry, you really do feel bad, don't you? Yeah, rightfully so.
Yeah, well, maybe it's all for the best. I think it's brought Desi and I closer together. Just like they say, every cloud is a silver lining. You gotta see that old water glass as half full, am I right?
Now he's starting to sound like the Larry I know. Let's leave. Don't forget, Nick, half full. Vielleicht noch dazu irgendwas? So what about this?
Huh? Maya, you shouldn't have. A love letter for me?
No. Sorry, this is a blackmail letter.
What? How do you know about that, Maya?
Huh?
How much is Alexis demanding this time?
Who the fuck is Alexis? Didn't we show him this letter yesterday too? I'm pretty sure we did. Stimmt. Hab ich ganz vergessen. Der Rest sieht nicht wirklich relevant aus. Gehen wir mal wieder. Vielleicht ist ja jetzt jemand im Detention Center. Wie komme ich da jetzt hin? Wahrscheinlich hier hin. Und dann hier hin. Aha, okay. Wir kommen weiter.
Mr. Wright. Mr. Delight, did they finish their interrogation? Yes, but please don't leave me alone anymore.
Mr. Delight, you lied to us before, didn't you?
Well, you see...
On the same night, the sacred urn was stolen from Lordly Taylor department store. A blackmail letter you got summoned you to KB Security to hand over some money. And then, that's where the CEO, Kane Bullard, was murdered. But there's only one Ron Delight, am I right? So the only question is, where were you that night? This time I want to hear the whole truth. Your life depends on it.
Okay.
Mr. Delight, do you still insist that you are Master Masque?
Isn't that what I've been saying since yesterday?
That was a quick response. Tell me about it. To be honest, it's starting to get irritating.
But listen, Mr. Delight. At the trial today, we learned the true identity of the thief, didn't we?
Good luck, everyone. Unable to find the rival worthy of my genius, I was forced to create one by myself. Here I am, the tragic clown.
I guess it's true. I wasn't the one who stole that urn.
Of course not. After all, you were at KB Security at the time. So when the person dressed up as Master Masque in this photo, it's gotta be Detective Atme. So that night, you didn't go to Lordly Taylor, you went to KB Security, right?
Yes, I went to KB Security at the time the blackmail note said I should.
Alright, what happened next?
Well, I used to work there, so I knew where the CEO's office was. I knocked, but there was no answer. So then I used the keycard to unlock the door.
That's probably when he dropped his wallet.
When I went into the CEO's office, someone was in there.
Someone? Oh, also das hat man ja wohl jetzt gesehen.
Then suddenly they bashed me over the head, bam!
Was it Kane Bullard that hit you?
I don't know. The person ran away while I was still stunned. When I came to my senses, the sight I saw left me speechless.
Ugh.
The dead body of the CEO was right there in front of me. I thought I'd die myself. Anyway, I thought I should do something with the body.
So that's why you put it in the safe? Der hat den da reingetan, oh Gott. Toll, dann sind bestimmt seine Fingerabdrücke auf dem Körper gefunden worden. Auf der Leiche.
Yes, that's right. I used to be the chief of one of the security teams, so I knew how to open it.
Okay, and what did you do after that?
Well, I got out of there, for starters. I was the one who set up the security cameras in that building, so I knew how to avoid being spotted by them. Nick, all of a sudden, Mr. Delight kind of sounds like the murderer to me.
Please don't say that. Why were you fired? And also, why the hell did you still have your card?
Mr. Delight, is it true that 1 year ago, you were forced to quit KB Security?
Andererseits, wenn die Larry einstellen, wundert es mich auch nicht, dass sie vergessen, dem Typen die Karte wegzunehmen vor einem Jahr, nachdem sie ihn gefeuert haben.
How did you... I'm begging you, please don't tell Desi, please.
Don't worry. We haven't told anyone yet.
Well, thank goodness.
No, but I suppose I'll have to tell her sometime. She'll find out eventually. Why have you been hiding it from her anyway?
Desi would despise me if she ever found out I was living a life of crime. A criminal, a thief. She'd never forgive me. My marriage would be over.
Knowing that, why did you become a thief in the first place?
Because Desi spends money like it's water. There's no job in the world that could bring in enough money, except being a thief. At least that's what I thought anyway.
So he became Master Masquer for Desiree, huh? Noch irgendwas? Wie wär's mit dem?
So, was this blackmail letter written by KB Security CEO Kane Bullard?
I think so, probably. You can only get into the CEO's office if you have a keycard.
And the blackmail letter said to meet at KB Security.
Guess no one other than Mr. Bullard could have written the letter then.
I was at KB Security at around 1 o'clock that night. I took out my wallet to open the door with the keycard. So is that when you dropped it?
I'm sorry, I should have told you the truth earlier.
Warum hattest du die Karte noch? What are you still doing with this keycard anyway? Didn't you return it when you left your job at KB Security? Bin froh, dass Sie das mal fragen.
Of course I returned it. Don't be silly.
Ah. Ich habe nämlich schon gedacht, das hat mich so ein bisschen gestört, dass er die noch hat. Das wirkte irgendwie so ein bisschen meh. Aber dann ist natürlich, aha, die war da mit drin.
But it got sent back to me along with the blackmail letter.
With the blackmail letter?
Yes, it said, use this to enter the CEO's office.
Okay, gut, dann das ist interessant.
Oh, I didn't know Master Masquer had become so famous.
Yeah, I actually bought this publicity photo.
Really? Well, I'd be happy to sign it if you like. I'll even add behind bars.
Yes, please, please. It looks like Ron has totally forgotten about what happened at the trial today. That he was declared not guilty of being Master Masquer. What do you think about this? Okay, nichts. Vielleicht irgendwas mit der Liste? This list, we found it in the office of the CEO, Mr. Bullard.
Hey, this is a list of all the things Master Masquer stole.
And that's the value of each item listed next to them. $100,000, $150,000.
Are you sure that's the value of the stolen items? The numbers seem a little low to me. Even on the black market, the prices should be at least 3 times higher.
I guess he knows about that stuff because he used to be a security guard.
That's the emergency buzzer from the CEO's office. Don't press it. It makes a terrible racket.
Huh, sorry. I just love making a lot of noise.
Does this buzzer have something to do with this case?
Well, at this point, I don't really know yet. After all, there were no prints on it, or anything else for that matter. Moment, wenn keine Abdrücke da drauf waren, dann hat bestimmt jemand mit Handschuhen den gedrückt. Was haben wir noch? Okay, das nicht. Was ist denn mit dem Zeitungsausschnitt? Ich meine, es sah ja wirklich so aus, als wäre er das vielleicht, der andere da im Hintergrund.
Hey, this is an article about my debut heist. Boy, that was a tough one. Before I knew it, they were hot on my trail.
But Master Masquer, he must have gotten away, right? It says in the article that he disappeared.
That's right. I got a sudden burst of inspiration. I hid my Master Masquer costume in a nearby plastic bucket. Then I quickly changed into my security guard uniform. Pretty clever, eh?
Wow, awesome. Hey, hold the phone. The guard in this photo. Is this you, Mr. Delight?
Yeah, that's right. Nice trick if I do say so myself.
Nice and easy to figure out. Even Pearls could see through that in a heartbeat.
But as you might expect, Detective Atme found the disguise. He truly deserves the title of Ace Detective.
Detective Atme found the Master Masque disguise? That's interesting.
Yes, and I heard that he brought it home with him.
So that's it. That's when Atme got his hands on this.
Thanks to that, I got the chance to remake my costume.
That must have been really time-consuming, huh?
Yes, it took quite a while to complete. Anyway, a few days after that, I received the first of the blackmail letters.
Oh?
Blackmail letters?
You got them starting when? Tell me more now.
Hey, calm down. Don't get so worked up.
Was ist jetzt? Ah, okay.
This blackmail letter, is this the first one you got? No, of course not. But this is the first one that ever called me out to a specific location.
So, did you start receiving blackmail letters after this incident?
Yes, just a few days after the Tear of Emanon heist. That first letter, it said, I know you did it.
So someone found out about your true identity, just like that?
Now, it's not easy being a master thief, you know.
Ich bin mittlerweile verwirrt. Hat er den ersten Diebstahl dann doch gemacht? Und alles danach war Atme?
I've got proof that it was you, so give up. It went on to say. So in the end, I had to give up the treasure I went through all that trouble to steal.
Is that right? Hey, hang on a second. What do you mean you had to give it up?
Oh, don't worry. After I put the jewel in the safe deposit box the letter specified, someone sent me $10,000.
No one said anything about me being worried, you know.
After that, I started getting the plans in the mail. The plans?
Okay, heist plans?
What are these plans you're talking about? They were instructions on how to steal a crown, or painting, or some other rare treasure. They showed security blind spots, escape routes, and even suggested training methods.
So you mean that the one who planned the heists wasn't you?
No, it wasn't. I only planned the very first one. After that, I received plans from some very kind person. Incredibly detailed plans.
It sounds like Mr. Delight is thankful to the person that was blackmailing him. So Ron Delight was Master Masque after all? But someone else is behind the thefts. Someone who planned them all out in detail.
All I had to do was deposit the treasures I stole into the safe deposit box. Then I just waited for the cash to come in the mail.
Did you try not to look so gleeful about it?
So you went after the sacred urn because of one of those plans too? Well, see, truth is, I've never seen the urn. All I did was follow the instructions and steal what I was told to steal.
Mr. Delight, is everything you've just told me the truth?
Yes, but please don't tell Desi, okay?
Ron, before we go, there's one more thing I want to ask you.
Yes, but please don't hurt me.
Mr. Kane Bullard, do you swear that it wasn't you who killed him?
Yes, of course. I could never. I'm not lying. All I did was hide his body in the safe. But then I was afraid they'd discover what I did, so I turned myself in yesterday.
Why?
Well, if the judge had ruled that I was guilty of robbery, then I'd have an alibi, right?
Oh. Ja, das haben wir dir versaut.
I guess so. You're really clever, Mr. Delight.
I guess I have no choice but to take Mr. Delight at his word.
Mystic Maya!
Hey, Pearly! Oh.
I'm big.
Hey, Pearls. Ah, die hat jetzt bestimmt für uns einen Beweis, dass dass die Urne echt ist. So what have you been up to this whole time?
The sacred urn, Mr. Nick. I took it back to Goodine Village to have it examined.
And? What did you find out?
Well, there's no need to worry. They said it's the real urn.
Whew. That's a relief. I was really worried.
But there's one small problem.
Problem?
These cute little pink splotches. They said that it's paint and that they were put on the urn recently.
Why are we talking about the pink splotches again? What's the big deal? Aha. Okay. Ich nehme mal an, hier steht doch, are we coming to purloin the most priceless work of art and display in oder? Nee, hold the phone. Ich hab nichts gesagt.
Yes, Mr. Nick, we've got to find out how they got there.
Okay, we'll go find out how they got there.
Please don't forget about me.
Ich könnte mir halt vorstellen, dass, ich weiß nicht, warum hieß es überhaupt Speckled Urn? Ja, mal gucken. Reden wir jetzt mal mit Dingsbums. Warum vergesse ich ihren blöden Namen andauernd? Mit Adrian. Nicht Examine, Move. Da.
Oh, Pearl, how nice to see you.
Hello there.
I haven't seen you around lately. What have you been up to?
Well, actually, I was having this urn examined.
Oh, I see.
Maybe if we take another good look at this urn, we can figure out the mystery of what actually happened here.
Nick, let's look around one more time.
Ach, jetzt müssen wir uns nochmal umgucken. This box, there's something about it that's bothering me.
That's the box that the sacred urn was in.
It looks like there's some pink paint on it, too.
And it's definitely the same color as the stuff on the urn.
I think I know how the paint got on it now.
Alright, let's investigate again, Nick.
Aha. Wooden box that had the sacred urn in it has pink paint stains on it. Schwert ist offenbar weiterhin egal. Ah gut, das ist ja nett. Ist schon direkt alles markiert, was ich nicht weiter angucken muss. Dann wird es wahrscheinlich noch das hier sein. It looks to me like it's been dry for several days.
There's something suspicious about this paint mark. The bottom of paragraph is shaped oddly and is sucking pink.
Mr. Nick, could it be that this odd shape is...
Yeah, I'm pretty sure this is it.
That's the box the sacred urn was in.
If you look here, there's a little bit of paint on the box as well.
Wow, you're right. Look, it matches.
What is it, Mr. Nick?
This is all turning out exactly as I thought it would. I think it's all starting to become clear. We're that much closer to solving the mystery of what happened to the urn. Ja, dann lass uns mal mit Dingsbums quasseln. Ich glaube, mehr muss ich dafür auch nicht untersuchen. Ja, alles andere ist noch so, wie es war. Presente the Magatama. Do you Dingsbums? Naja, ich meine, hier. Sorry to break it to you, but the urn is the genuine article. Pearls went back to Goodine Village and had it examined.
Is that right? That's nice, but I don't see how.
What she discovered was that the urn had been broken again.
Did you say again?
Echt, stand das da auch? Nee, aber na gut. Yes, it was broken once a year ago, and now it looks like the same thing has happened. And quite recently, too.
Recently? Are you saying this urn was broken recently?
Yes, that's exactly what I'm saying.
Why do you think it was broken recently? How do you know?
Naja, wegen der Farbe. Ich bin mir jetzt nicht sicher, was ich auswählen soll. Nochmal die. Okay, das offenbar nicht. It was broken recently. Dann die Box. Mr. Wright, huh? Why do you think it was broken recently again? Well, because... ach so. Wahrscheinlich eher das Poster. Das Poster. Oder? Ja, nicht das Poster. Das da, weil da sieht sie noch anders aus. Puh, okay. This poster, it was made recently, right?
Poster? Ah, the poster for the exhibit.
At the time when this photo was taken, the urn said I am on it. But now, for some mysterious reason, it says Amy. When the urn was fixed, the letters were transposed.
Ah! I am? What does that even mean? I don't know anything about that. I wasn't even there when the photo for this poster was taken.
That was a mistake. Now, tell the truth.
Wait.
For?
Even if the urn was broken, I had nothing to do with it.
Huh?
Yes, that's it. It must have been one of the people at the photo shoot. They probably dropped it. I'm sure that's what happened.
It looks like she's not going to give up that last psych lock so easily. Do you have any proof the urn was broken here at Lolly Taylor?
Das?
Well, Miss Andrews. What is this supposed to mean? There's pink paint all over the urn. And there's pink paint all over the floor and walls of this basement warehouse. In other words, this urn was broken here. You can't weasel out of this one, Miss Andrews. But... Uh-oh, she's trying to make her escape. But you can get pink paint anywhere. Well, there's none in my office, that's for sure.
Well, there's in my room.
Liar.
Anyway, the paint on the urn and the paint on the floor, there's no proof that it's the same paint.
Come on, this is getting ridiculous. The proof linking the paint on the urn to the paint on the floor is schon nicht das? This box. The urn was stored in this, right?
Yes, that's right.
Well, there's pink paint on this box as well. I think you already know where I'm going with this, don't you?
Yes, more or less.
The paint on the floor has an odd shape imprinted in it, doesn't it?
Yes.
If you put this box into the impression in the paint, you can see it fits perfectly. Which means this box was dropped right over there. And that is when the urn was broken.
Your name does you justice, Mr. Wright.
I'm so sorry. I was the one who broke the urn. Boy, does this make me feel like some sort of evil school teacher.
I'm a terrible person. Not only did I break it, but I tried to hide what I did.
Well, that's not so hard to understand, is it, Pearlie?
No, not at all. I know just how she feels.
It happened about 2 weeks ago, just after the poster photo was taken on the same day the urn arrived here. I thought I'd put it away down here for safekeeping. I was carrying it in the box when I tripped on a paint can and lost my balance. The box I was carrying crashed to the ground. I heard a terrible noise and I thought my heart was going to stop. Fearing the worst, I opened the lid of the box and that's when it happened. The broken pieces of the urn fell out of the box and landed right in the paint. I was in shock and let out a huge scream. I can't totally see how that could have happened. Yeah, as clumsy as she is, I'm sure Maya understands.
Well, I knew it was the most important treasure in all of Kudain Village, so I tried as hard as I could to fix it. Fortunately, the shards were pretty big.
And that's when the I am got changed to Amy. I didn't know how it was originally written, but any sane person fixing it would have assumed it said Amy. Aua.
Any sane person? Really?
Oh, purse. She said she wasn't very good at spelling, though.
Anyway, I put the urn into the storeroom and no one had seen it since then.
Okay, da fällt mir jetzt direkt mal was auf. Broken and repaired by Adrian 2 weeks ago. Then replaced in its box. Kept out of sight. Aber hier steht, take good care of the speckled urn, won't you? Das klingt für mich immer noch so, als ob Admi dachte, die pinken Farbkleckse würden dazugehören. Aber wie kann er die denn dann gesehen haben, wenn die danach angeblich kept out of sight war?
There's something I don't get. When we first came here, I didn't see any paint stains. Well, that's because it was so ugly and embarrassing. I used the golden statue to cover it.
The Amy face statue, huh? The first time that we came down here, it was on the night that the sacred urn was stolen.
But Mr. Nick, there were no paint marks on the walls or floor of the warehouse when we were here.
Well, there's a good reason for that. On the day of the crime around noon, that golden statue just happened to arrive from the mountain training hall.
And?
I realized that the statue would be the perfect size for covering up the paint stains. That's why I put it where you first saw it.
I see. Now it makes perfect sense.
But there's still one thing I find strange.
What is it, Pearl?
The day after the urn was stolen, we came here again.
At that time, the statue had been moved and the paint was clearly visible.
She's right about that. Well, Miss Andrews.
Huh? What? I don't know about anything about that. I placed it there to cover the paint, so why would I move it again? Well, then who was it? Who would have done it and why?
On the day before the theft, the statue was definitely closer to the door. Wäre das nicht irre, wenn sich jemand in der Statue verstecken könnte? Aber daran erinnere ich mich nicht. Ich glaube, an sowas Beklopptes würde ich mich erinnern. Then the next day it was moved, but why? Carried into the basement warehouse the day of the crime. Moved again that night. It looks like there's some connection between the sacred urn and the murder case.
Why? Why do you think so, Nick?
Because that night, the real thief, Ron Delight, was at KB Security. So then why did another Mas de Masque show up here? A lot of different things are pointing to one undeniable fact.
One undeniable fact?
The murder trial is starting tomorrow, but it looks like that thief is going to be making another appearance. Ja, ich bin verwirrt. Ich meine,